But we need to start out today's show by talking about right place, right time. Like sometimes, when you see successful people, you see people that have done really great things, you hear the expression right place, right time. Like, if even without successful people, if you're just walking down the street and you see $100 bill on the ground and you pick up the $100 bill and you're kind of looking, seeing, well, no one's around here. Hey, look, you got $100. Right place, right time. You look at something as big as Microsoft, Bill Gates. It was kind of right place, right time. The people he was around end up creating Microsoft, multi-billion-dollar business, number one net worth in the world. Right place, right time. Think of what you're doing right now. You're watching a YouTube video, or you're listening to me on iTunes. You're listening to me on SoundCloud. This is kind of being born at the right place, right time. Because these things that we're listening to and what I'm creating on and being able to put on the platform did not exist 20, 30 years ago. That's being born at the right place, right time. Right now is the right place and right time. If you are a fan of a crappy football team, which unfortunately I am at the moment, rest in peace, Denver season, this is the best time to be bad in the NFL in quite some time. And no one ever wants to hear, oh, my team sucks this year, or my team's been bad, right? But when you really don't want to hear your team's bad, when you absolutely under no circumstance want to hear, oh, my team is playing like shit, my team sucks, my team's got the worst record in the league, I am a Cleveland Browns fan. When you look and you hear from all these experts that are telling you, wow, this is one of the worst drafts in a while. Wow, there's no unanimous number one pick. Wow, there is kind of sketchy. Draft's not that great. It's okay. Not sure about this one. Weak draft class. Weak free agent class. When you want to hear when your team is bad? You want to hear Magic Johnson's coming out of the draft and you have a top 2 pick. You want to hear Shaq's coming out of the draft and you have a top 2 pick. You want to hear Michael Jordan's coming out of the draft and you got a top 5 pick. No one wants to have to draft like the Cleveland Cavaliers did Anthony Bennett. You would much rather the draft and be bad the season before when LeBron James is coming out. So why is it a right place, right time? I'm going to list off some quarterbacks here that teams that are bad and playing poorly that are going to be available or possibly available, and it's the most good names and reasonable contracts that we've seen in a while. List of potential quarterbacks your team could get this offseason if you're a bad team. Alex Smith, Kirk Cousins, Jacoby Brissett, Tyrod Taylor, Sam Bradford, Case Keenum, Teddy Bridgewater. Hell, the Vikings have 3. They can only keep 1. They have 3 quarterbacks. Sam Darnold, as far as the draft is concerned. Josh Rosen, Josh Allen. I just named you 10 guys. 10 guys that are coming out of college or be free agents this year that your team has a chance to get. That is what you want to hear when your team is bad. Let's list off the bad football teams. And I excluded the Texans despite the record because the Texans have just been destroyed by injuries this year. So I completely exclude them. I also think, on a good team note, I think if you're the Jaguars, you're set up in a great position because you have the number 1 defense in the league and you can get Blake Bortles' ass out of here next year. Bad football teams. Jets, Dolphins, Raiders, Broncos, Bengals, Browns, Giants, Cardinals, 49ers, Colts. What's even better if you're a bad football team? Because out of those 10 guys that I mentioned earlier, you have even better chance to get them because out of the bad football teams, Raiders, Bengals, 49ers, Colts already have quarterbacks. You don't want to hear that, oh, the draft upcoming is one of the weakest in years, or that the free agent class isn't that strong, when your team just finished last in its division, last in its conference, stuck it up for the last 2 years. You want to be the Sixers drafting Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, not the Cavaliers taking Tristan Thompson and taking, or Tristan Thompson came with Kyrie. You don't want to be the Cavaliers having to draft Anthony Bennett. You want LeBron You want Kobe coming out of the draft. You want John Wall coming out of the draft. You want Andrew Wiggins coming out of the draft. In professional football, it's a really good time to be on a bad team. Shout out to the fact that I also have Denver possibly getting Jacoby Brissett, or if they continue to play at the rate they're doing, possibly a Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen, which would be one of the two best scenarios for those young quarterbacks to go to an organization that is ran as well and is as successful top to bottom as the Broncos are. Keep that in mind when you guys are considering if you want to come out of college this year. Just saying. If you guys heard or saw anything that you liked, please give it a thumbs up. If you like podcasts, if you like sports, if you just like me or what I'm doing on this channel, please subscribe. Let your friends know. Let your neighbors know. I will see you guys on Friday.